This is a sturdy and good-looking guitar stand, and you can use it for your bass too. You probably have all the parts you need in your shop junk box right now. So let's get started. All of the wood pieces are 3/4 inches thick. The largest one is 1.5 inches wide by 36 inches long with a 15-degree bevel on one end. The next 3 pieces are 3/4 inches wide by 11 inches long. The next 3 pieces are 3/4 inches wide by 14 inches long with a 45-degree bevel on each end. The next 3 pieces are only 3/8 inch wide but 12 inches long. These next 2 pieces are 3/4 inches wide by 4 inches long. These 2 pieces are 1/2 inch wide by 6 inches long and have a taper starting at one end and ending 2.5 inches in. This small block is 1.5 inches wide by 2 inches long and has a 15-degree taper on one end. These final 3 pieces are wedges cut on a 45-degree diagonal from the corners of a rectangular piece of wood, such that the longer end is 1.5 inches. We're going to build 3 leg assemblies and attach 2 of them to the front of the vertical support using these wedges, and then attach the third one to the back of the vertical support. And you notice the 3 wedges are on the other end of the vertical support and are on the side of the vertical support that has the largest dimension of the 15-degree angle cut on top. Now, starting from the bottom, those 3 wedges are located 1.5 inches up, about 7 inches up, and 12 inches up. The position of the middle wedge really isn't that important, just that it's sort of in the center. Now we take one of the 12-inch pieces and position it such that it's flush with the top of the wedge and sort of centered in its width, and then we're going to mark for screw holes on each wedge. And once we've marked, we're going to drill a clearance hole with a 3/16 inch bit. We're going to countersink that hole, and then we're going to use that piece as a guide to drill pilot holes in the wedges. If you're using a softwood like pine, use a 3/32 inch bit, but if you're using hardwood, use a 1/8 inch bit for the pilot hole. And you can see here that I've drilled those holes in all of the 3 12-inch long pieces. Now we're going to build one of the leg assemblies. Take the 12-inch piece of wood and find the end that has the hole closest to it and put that away from the 11-inch piece. Put them together to form an L shape. And now take the 14-inch piece with the 45-degree angles and put it together to form a triangle. Now that we know how it's supposed to go, let's drill some holes and put it together with screws. Now we'll take the 12-inch piece and measure 3/8 inch down and 3/8 inch in and drill a clearance hole for a screw that's going to go through. As always, we're going to drill the hole, we're going to countersink it, and then use it as a guide to drill the pilot hole in the 11-inch piece. And you notice by doing the countersink, the screw sits flush. Here we're going to use the 11-inch piece to mark for the pilot hole. We'll mark the hole, and then we'll use a 3/32 inch bit to drill the pilot hole. And once we've done that, we take our 3/4 inch long screw, put it in, and screw it down. Now we have to attach the 14-inch piece. Now we're going to have to screw through the 3/4 inch piece, so the 3/4 inch screw won't be long enough. So we'll use a 1 1/4 inch drywall screw instead. And we just put it there so that it'll go in pretty good, but it won't go through the other piece. We'll mark that position. And then we'll mark it on the bottom and center it, and we'll drill our clearance hole and countersink it. And now we put the 14-inch piece back in place, and since the pencil won't fit through the clearance hole, we use the drywall screw itself to mark for the pilot hole. Now when you drill this pilot hole, make sure that the pilot hole is going to be perpendicular to the end of that piece, so that when it goes in straight. And then we're going to use that 1 1/4 inch screw to secure the 14-inch piece to the assembly. We have one more joint to secure on this leg assembly, but before we do, let's use our square to make sure that the assembly itself is square. For this last joint, since we're going to screw through a thinner piece of wood, we can go back to a 3/4 inch screw. We'll mark that, Then, as always, we use the 3/16 inch bit to drill the clearance hole. We use the countersink and then use the piece to locate the pilot hole for the 3/4 inch screw that we're going to use to secure this last joint. And here we go. Secure that down. And that completes one of the leg assemblies. Now we're going to do the same for the other two assemblies, and then we'll have 3 leg assemblies which we can use as a tripod, which gives us the best stability. So we're going to start doing this. We position the first leg on the wedges, second leg on the wedges, and third leg on the back. Mark the position for the first hole and drill a pilot hole. And we're going to use a 3/4 inch screw to attach the first leg assembly to the vertical section. Now that the first one is attached, we can mark for the other 2 holes, move the leg assembly out of the way, and then drill the other 2 pilot holes. Then we put the screws in, and that first leg assembly is attached. We're going to use the same procedure to attach the second leg assembly. And then we're going to turn around and find the top of the leg and bring that mark around to the back so we can position the back leg at the same height as the other 2 legs. And we're going to use the same procedure again of marking, drilling, and screwing to put that third leg in. And there we go, the third leg is attached, and we have a nice tripod. Now you notice that the stand is vertical. We want it to slope back a little bit. In order to do that, we're going to put feet on the front 2 leg assemblies. Now for each one of those leg assemblies, we're going to drill a clearance hole 3/8 inch down and centered on the bottom of the leg assembly so that we can put a screw through it to attach the 4-inch foot. We drill and countersink a clearance hole and drill our pilot hole, and we use a 1 1/4 inch drywall screw or 1 5/8 inch drywall screw if you want a little more support to hold that leg. And we do the same for the other leg assembly. And there we go. You see it has a nice backward slant so that your guitar will rest firmly on it. Only problem is, because of all those angles, those feet don't sit firmly on the ground. So we take 2 pencils, pull one back, because that's a spacer. Then we're going to use this pencil to mark a parallel line to the ground along the foot, so we can sand that foot down and have it touch flat to the ground. To sand that down, we're going to have to take the foot off. So let's mark the position of the foot now so we can put it back in the exact same place. Take it off, sand it down, and then put it back on. And now you notice that both feet are nice and flush against the floor. Now we're going to make the actual guitar holder that gets attached to the top of the vertical piece. It's made out of the 2 remaining 6-inch long pieces and the 1 2-inch long piece. What we're going to do is take those 2 6-inch long pieces and round over the flat end. And then we're going to take the 2-inch long piece and we're going to apply glue to the sides of it. Now we're going to take the 2-inch long piece and the 6-inch long piece and mate up the end of the 2-inch long piece to the end of the taper on the 6-inch long piece. Push that together, move it around so that the glue makes good contact, and do the same for the remaining 6-inch long piece. Now we need to clamp this assembly together so that the glue can set properly. If you have a pair of parallel jaw clamps, you can just clamp them together because the parallel jaw clamps can adjust. If not, just use some masking tape and pull it tight around the assembly, and that'll hold it for about a half an hour or so until the glue fully sets. Now that the glue has set, we remove the parallel jaw clamps and get ready to attach the guitar holder onto the top of the vertical piece. To mount it, we have to drill 2 holes, 1/2 inch in from each side and about 3/8 inch down. As always, we're going to drill a clearance hole, we're going to countersink that clearance hole, and then use that hole to mark positions for the pilot holes in the guitar holder. Now when you're drilling these holes, try to drill them parallel to the 15-degree angle rather than drilling them flat. Now we're drilling the first pilot hole, and we're going to attach the guitar holder to the vertical piece using a 1 5/8 inch drywall screw for maximum support. Once the screw is attached, we can drill the second pilot hole and then apply the second screw. And that completes the guitar stand. And here it is, stained, varnish, and ready to go. Now, just look at the guitar holder itself and notice that it's wood. So when you put the guitar neck against it, there's a little friction there. So you might want to use a little cushioning. And to see how to do that, why don't you take a look at one of my other Junkbox videos called Build the Junkbox Guitar Wall Holder. And as always, you can always email me with any questions. Have fun.